Alrighty, we are chapter 4, lesson 8, page 173 in your big math book. Join along and let's begin. Remember, you can always pause, rewind at any time. Remember, throughout the video, focus, have a can-do attitude, take initiative, which means go ahead and pause it, ask a question if you're confused about anything. You can always rewind to rewatch something as well, okay? And then listen carefully. All right, let's begin. At camp, there are 5 players on each lacrosse team. So one team has 5 players, 2 teams has another 5. That would be 10 total players, and so on. If there are 125 people on lacrosse teams, how many teams are there? And that's our question. So underline what you are asked to find. That's what we did. Whenever we underline our question, we're underlining what we are asked to find. Circle what you need to use. Okay, we can do that too. We need to use 5 players on each team and 125 people total. What operation can you use to find the number of teams? Well, if we continue to take 5 away to figure out how many until we get up to 125, that's repeated subtraction, so we can use subtraction, or to make it quicker, we can use division. And really, again, division is all it is repeated subtraction. So let's look at one way to solve it using partial quotients. We've already kind of talked about this in previous videos. Partial meaning part of, quotient meaning answer to a division problem. So we're going to break the division problem up into partial answers like we did with multiplication before. In the partial quotient method of dividing, multiples of the divisor are subtracted from the dividend and then partial quotients are added together. So we kind of did this in the repeated subtraction, so it's more practice. It's more practice. Each lesson isn't radically different than the other if we really think about the mathematical principles that we're using. Okay, so step 1, start by subtracting a greater multiple such as 10 times the divisor. So remember when I said go ahead and skip ahead if you know you're going to need more. That's all we're doing here. For example, you know that you can make at least 10 teams of 5 players. So they did that here. 10 times 5, or 10 5s, and remember we have kind of our separate problem over here. This is to figure out how many 5s we've used. So 10 5s, which would be 50. And we subtract that, and remember this is kind of like money. $1.25 minus 50 cents would give you 75 cents. So can I take another 10 away? Yeah, because 75 is bigger than 50, so I take 10 more 5s away, which now I'm at 10, 10, 25s I've taken away total. And 5 times 10 is 50 that I'm going to take away. So that's 25 left over. Now I can't take 10 5s away. I can't take 50 away from 25. But 5 times 5 is 25. So that gives me 0. So then, for our quotient, though, we take these partial quotients, okay? So we take the 10 5s we used originally to get the 50 that we took away. We used another 10 5s to take another 50 away. And then we used 5 5s to take the final 50 away. So we took away a total of 25 5s. So our answer here is 25 because this is a partial quotient, partial quotient, partial quotient. We add our partial quotients to get our final answer. Okay, and step 2 we kind of already did, but subtract the smaller multiples such as 5, 2, and 1 times the divisor until the remaining number is less than the divisor. Well, 0 is definitely less than the divisor, so we can stop. And it happens to work out perfectly with no remainder. So there are how many teams? Well, each team has 5 players, and we had 25 5s, so 25 lacrosse teams. Okay. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.